You need an umbrella insurance policy, but I don't need you buying more than necessary. Why do I say that? Because I have clients that come to me that have way too much umbrella insurance because they had an agent that was incentivized to sell more because they would get a bigger commission. And I have other clients that go, well, I just don't think I need this right now. And then it becomes a huge hassle and a potential lawsuit when something happens, which can actually ruin a retirement. I've seen it happen before. So I'm going to walk you through a real example so you do not pay more than you need to when it comes to umbrella insurance and that you're sleeping well at night. This is not going to be as sexy as some of the Roth conversion videos or the withdrawal strategies. Now, sexy to me, because I'm a little odd. But in the real world, these are things that bulletproof your retirement. Having the right insurance protection, not overspending, ensuring that when you do retire, you already took care of a lot of the big expenses, a home remodel, making sure travel and healthcare have been accounted for. I want you to live your best retirement. I just don't want you to run the risk of running out of money. And I don't want you to be mad at me when you're 75 going, look, I've got $10 million now. Why didn't I retire earlier if I was in a fine spot to do so? So I'm going to walk you through umbrella insurance today, how I do my full analysis. If you don't already know, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president at Root Financial Partners. So I want to hop right in. Now, oftentimes insurance is not the most luxurious of things to discuss. And I had a brief stint, about a month, at working for a company called Northwestern Mutual. Now, I'm going to tell you this quick story before I get into the real analysis, which I promise I'm going to show you right now. But know that there are 3 types of insurance. I made this up, but they still use it in the office today from my peers who tell me this. I say there are 3 types of insurance. There are people who are underinsured. There are people that are overinsured. And there are people that are unnecessarily insured. I don't need you unnecessarily paying for something. And a big issue I have with insurance agents they would say something like this. Hey, Ari, it looks like your net worth is $2 million, which it's not, let's be clear. But it looks like it's $2 million, so you should have $2 million of umbrella insurance just to make sure you cover that net worth. But they're not actually doing what I would call the most ethical thing, because in reality, you might have a few things that already have creditor protection embedded. So if you have a 401k, you have something called ERISA protection, which means it is protected from creditors. If you were to get sued, they could not come after those dollars. So let's assume my net worth is $2 million. $1 million is in a 401k. The other $1 million is in cash, just to use a basic example. I might not need $2 million of umbrella insurance because I already have $1 million covered for my 401k. So the other $1 million that's in cash, it might be FDIC insured, but that does not mean it's protected from creditors. So I would at a minimum need $1 million of umbrella insurance. But I'm going to walk you through a more detailed example, one that's going to be applicable to all of you, most of you, let's hope. So here's the quick story. I don't know how many of you guys have seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, but this is the same story I will tell my clients. So there's an episode where Larry David, the writer of Seinfeld and the one who, of course, is acting in Curb Your Enthusiasm, maybe not acting because it feels a lot like him, and he is sitting at home and someone comes to his home to rob him, and they trip and fall and they sue Larry, which is funny because he was robbing him. And I will tell clients that this episode would have never happened if Larry had an umbrella insurance policy. Now, an umbrella insurance policy on its own does not throw out a lawsuit, but an umbrella insurance policy can throw out a lawsuit. And I have a client that has a significant net worth north of $3 million that got in a car crash, and they had an auto policy. And once again, the auto policy will insure coverages to a certain degree, maybe $300,000 or $500,000. But in their case, it was a significant accident, and they were going to come after my client for some significant damages. And the fact that they had an umbrella insurance policy actually threw out the lawsuit because they were going to win anyways, meaning my client is like, Ari, do I really need to buy umbrella insurance? That's what they were telling me years ago. I'm like, if you don't buy it, you're not a client of mine because I'm going to need you to sleep at night for me. And it's only $150 a year. So please buy it. They're like, fine. They weren't even happy about it. And then when they got it and then this all went down, they were okay, meaning they were going to win the lawsuit anyways, but it could have been 6 months of hassle, and you just don't want to deal with that if you can even if you're going to win, have an umbrella insurance policy that will help throw that out. And that's what happened in this case. So with that being said, I'm going to show you a real example so you guys can see what I mean. So on my screen here, you all can see a very, very basic Excel document. Now you can see I'm putting some basic information. This is my client's home value, $915,000. They have a mortgage, so $246,000. This is the equity of their home. So most people will say, well, I have $1 million in my investments, or my home is worth $1 million. I should match my net worth to my umbrella insurance policy. That is called unnecessarily insured. You are overpaying unnecessarily. Then there's underinsured. I do not want you to be underinsured. That is worst case scenario. And then there's overinsured. That's what I like for my clients. Now, some of you are going, hey, why would you want someone overinsured? Wouldn't you rather they be exactly insured? Yes, but you cannot buy umbrella insurance, for example, for $100,000. It's only sold in increments of $1 million, and it's in addition to policies you already own. So there's some more nuance here, but the example here is, here's a couple, $915,000 home value, $250,000 mortgage, equity of about $670,000. But there's something called a homestead exemption that you get to take off in addition to this. This depends on your zip code. So that's $50,000 for them, which means their liability is $618,000. Now this couple, when you have what's called an IRA or Roth IRA, you have an exemption up to $1.5 million per person. But if this person had a joint account for $400,000, just as an example, that's not exempt, meaning that could be available to creditors as well as future earnings. So an umbrella insurance policy can protect against a lot of different measures. So in reality, for this couple, let's assume they don't have that joint account, and this was their liability, meaning I look at all of their investments, everything they've gotten is a 401k. They're wondering, do I need umbrella insurance? Yeah, they should probably get $1 million. Now, would they be overinsured? Technically, yes, because they only need $618,000 of coverage, but you can't just buy $500,000. That $1 million will cost you between $150 to $300 a year. But now let's assume they have a $400,000 joint account. Well, if they have a $400,000 joint account, they should probably go, wait a second, if this is our liability, but we also have the joint account, well, now we're over $1 million. So if they're over $1 million, I probably would recommend $2 million of umbrella insurance. Is that on the cusp of unnecessarily insured? Not quite. I would call unnecessarily insured $3 million, because let's assume their investments grow like crazy and you forget to update your umbrella insurance. And now there's $1.3 million in here. Well, $1 million of protection wouldn't be sufficient. So you can see here just some notes regarding umbrella insurance. It's not going to itself just throw out a lawsuit, but it can provide significant protection and potentially influence the course of the legal proceedings. So most umbrella policies, they will coverage legal defense costs, high quality representation. Just the presence of an umbrella policy will incentivize a plaintiff to settle. This has so many benefits. This is one of the things that not always the sexiest, but I will often recommend umbrella insurance. Now, if you're looking for this analysis and more, you can see this right here on my screen. This is the checklist that I'll use. What issues should I consider when reviewing my property and casualty? This is everything. If you want to protect your retirement, which once again, not as sexy as Roth conversions or investing or things like this, but equally important is making sure that you have protection, homeowners insurance, insurance carriers, deductibles. I don't want you overlooking anything here. So if you want to go through this checklist, you can do that inside of the Early Retirement Academy. Now, if you're already familiar and using the Academy, beautiful. That's why I created it. This is for clients that go, I don't quite have $2 million, but I still want to get value in all the work that you guys are doing. I trust that there's value, but I want to be my own advisor and I want to be able to play around with your software. So if you want to have the capabilities to do what I'm doing with my clients, you guys can go ahead and see that right here inside the Academy. You can enroll in the description of today's episode. Now, if you're looking to work directly with our team here at Root, there's also a link in the description of this video where you can apply to work with us. That's it for this episode. I please encourage you to share this with someone you want to retire early with. It is way more fun to retire early with friends. Please like this video, share, and subscribe if you're looking for more information just like this.